10 kilos. Now some holds. Now some triceps work. Oh, fuck. And now as a finisher, some barbell holds. This is for grip endurance. So what we're trying to do here is to hold the weight as long as possible until our fingers give out, okay? And I'm gonna make it even harder on myself again by attaching those fat grips. So as you can see, I've got two, maybe you can see it better from this angle. I've got two 20 kilo plates on the bar, and the bar itself weighs 6 kilos. Means in total a weight of 46 kilos. And this really sounds well, not only doable, but a little bit easy. But don't forget, I'm already exhausted. That's point number 1. And point number 2 is I attach those fat grips to make it harder on myself. And we'll see how many reps or sets I can do with them. And then in the end, how many reps or sets without them. That is a very, very interesting question. So if you do this exercise as your first exercise, you should definitely take a much higher weight, but this will become counterproductive right now. So there you can see me, everything's attached, and I'm gonna try my best now, right? Okay, basically that's what you do. You bring it up to your deadlift lockout position, and then you hold it as long as possible. And when you're about to drop the weight, then squeeze a bit harder and try to get some more seconds out of it, okay? But don't be too courageous, because otherwise you might hurt yourself or like this, kill the floor. I put those pillows now on the floor to make it a bit softer when it comes down. It's incredible how much harder it is with those fat grips attached to the barbell. This is only 46 kilos. This is about a third of my current 1 rep max deadlift without any straps and double overhand, because I only do deadlifts with a double overhand grip, not with a switched grip, just because I'm afraid that I might tear my biceps on this side or on the other one. So that's why I reduce this risk, or that's why I said I want to reduce this risk by grabbing the bar 2 times overhand. But of course this is much harder, so I would say that I get maybe 15 to 20 kilo on top of my 1 rep max if I switch to switch grip, but the risk isn't worth it for me. So therefore I do it very, very hard and make it even harder with those fat grips. And there are also the extreme ones, which are orange, and the orange ones have a bigger diameter, but for my small hands those blue ones are perfectly fine and perfectly enough. So okay, 3rd rep. Also, when you use those fat grips, pay attention to the fact that you will lose the bar a little bit higher than without any fat grips. That's simply the fact, because you don't have the power to hold it like without them, so your fingers give out way earlier. That's also something you have to pay attention to, because normally people lose their deadlift well, approximately 10 to 15 centimeters above the floor, but here it can be up to 30 centimeters, just because your hand strength is much more required in this version than in the other one, the normal one. So yeah, I deadlift about 130 kilos, double overhand, 1 rep max, and I'm trying to go up to 200 kilos. That would be my goal, one of my goals in sports. And this, of course, is not just a good training for your grip in general, but also particularly for your deadlift. Because what people say is that you have to buy an axle bar. An axle bar is a much thicker bar with hardly any knurling on it. So it's slippier and it's thicker in diameter and it costs a lot of money, much more than your normal barbell. And with those fat grips, you basically, well, go around this problem and buy the cheaper version, which is just those 2 fat grips that replicate an axle if you want so. So you see, we're training about half an hour right now, and you can see how gassed I am. If you're really doing your max effort in your trainings, you do not have to go above 45 minutes. You can go up to an hour, but you don't need to, because you want to train, you want to practice on a regular basis. And if you kill yourself every time you do a workout, you probably will get sick or get injured and you fall back. And it might take you then a couple of months to come back to your former shape. And that's just not worth it. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to take the fit grips off and do the last reps without them. Okay? So this is now like vacation for me. Oh, much easier. This feels like heaven, really. It's also great to do your last sets without the fat grips, because you can now fully grab the bar and use also muscle fibers that you were not allowed, or you simply couldn't recruit because the fat grips didn't allow you to. So, because I can't go with my hands full circle one time around those fat grips, I couldn't recruit, for example, the outer part of my forearm, which is also very important for your strength. And that's possible now without them. So yeah, do it once with the fat grips and do it also without them. This is more like a pump for your fingers and your your total hand muscles, your complete hand muscles. But the normal deadlift seems to me like is using more of the actual forearm. So you have to figure it out for yourself, but that's just what I'm feeling. One more time. Okay, there you have it, guys. That's about a full grip session right there. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you then.